Welcome back, viewers and listeners.
Hi.
We are doing a lovely chatty podcast for you tonight about personal stories.
Basically, we're just going to chat shit.
Yeah.
Chat shit, basically, but all of us have experienced like weird shit, which has probably got us into this a bit further.
Into the paranormal, we should
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. So it's basically, it's more like, it's all paranormal based. These two have had sleep paralysis type things. It's for another story, but
Yeah, that's a different...
Weird.
that's for another
that
time.
is like, that's like three
That'll be
more
a-
episodes
Yeah,
worth.
that'll be a long
To
episode.
be fair, that would just be Tamsin's episode with this one input from me.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you just listen a minute? I was trying to listen to Shelby drinking. I was trying to get that on the microphone. Tom's there, like, rustling around.
Nearly set my paper on fire, just hit the
Every
incense
time.
stick.
Oh, no.
No, it's okay, it's
There's
okay.
no story anymore.
No, sorry. This is what a chatty episode is going to be, mate.
Yeah, we're just...
Like, hardly any editing. This is just us.
Just laid back and so cool.
Yeah.
But who'd like to
Yeah.
start?
I mean, yeah.
I have a story. So, this is like the first time something really weird like that happened, but I was too young to sort of... I knew it was weird, but I didn't quite know what was going on. So basically, I was home alone. I must have been about 6 or 7. My mum worked loads, and my brother was... he was probably around the corner at his friend's house because he lived just around the corner. He'd always go and see him, so it wasn't that bad. And we had grandparents right around the corner. But so I was home, and I didn't watch the telly that much, so I was playing a game, and it was basically... It's like this red square, and then it's got a blue square in, like, further in it, and then it's got all of these shapes, and I think it was the alphabet with some extra letters, and you like wound it up and it would like jump up, kind of like what's that donkey game where he kit Buckaroo. It's kind of like that, but like a more like sophisticated,
It's like a spring-loaded learning toy.
yeah, basically that. And it
Learn
was
to
really
frighten
loud
Shelby.
when you like wound it up.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time I used it, I was downstairs on my own. I've lived in the same house for 26 years, so I must have been about 6.
Yeah.
And so I wound it up and I started to play it, and it's literally going like it's really loud. And while I'm playing it, I suddenly hear this woman scream,
Oh.
"Turn that off!"
What?
And I immediately I had to like push. You know how you push something around so it speeds up and stops.
Yeah.
And then I opened the door to look upstairs. No one was there. I've got the same neighbours that I've had for like over 20 years, and it definitely wasn't their voices because there weren't any women living next door. My mum wasn't home, and it sounded like an old lady, which is strange because I now have an old lady living next to me, but at the time I had someone that I went to school with and his dad living next to me. So it was really strange, and I still can't explain it to this day.
That freaks me out so
It's
much.
really weird.
So that's like someone's there in the room with you,
Telling me to shut up.
but they're watching the whole thing go as well, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Shut up!"
Yeah, it was a really loud game, so I just don't know.
That's
I've
really
never
weird.
been able to explain that one, but that's the first weird thing that happened to me.
Your house has those vibes, though. Like,
Yeah,
It's
a lot of things have happened in the house.
it's not like uninviting. It's just like there's so much stuff there.
It's almost alluring, my house, because I don't know.
Do you know what I do?
It's a weird feeling.
I can't explain. When you like walk down like your path through your garden, your window just looks like you're being stared at. It's
Yeah,
so
that's
weird.
true. That's true. It always looks like you're being stared at.
Yeah.
In my house, you probably are.
0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's usually 0.
That's a dog, by the way, not just some random.
Yeah.
She doesn't gonna let us 0.
0 and Frankie, they'll be watching you.
Yeah. From the window, the little beady eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that. Don't want to sleep anyway.
Yeah, so I've got a story that I actually forgot about, which you guys will think, oh shit, yeah. So when I was younger, I had a friend, and I was at her house, and
No,
we
you
were playing on the computer. I had one friend.
Don't lie.
Don't lie. She was imaginary. Yeah, we were playing on the computer, and it was in the corner of the dining room, and then to our left was the window going out the front.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, of her garden, and she had automatic lights that come on, obviously, when people walk up. So her mum and dad were out walking the dogs, and it was just me and her at home. I think we're about 12, and playing on the computer. The light flashed on, and we didn't look because we were like, oh, they're just back. And then something walked past the window that wasn't there, wasn't her parents. and it was actually a man in a striped suit with a box on his head
Oh,
that just walked past.
Shelby, stop.
And what's so weird, it's like, sorry, Shelby was speaking in the background there. Yeah, we literally didn't say anything until we're like, did you just see that? I can't remember who said what, but like, did you see that? I was like, yeah, a man with a box on his head just walked past the window.
Oh my god.
And we're like, what the hell? You saw that? Was that real? Like, what the hell was that? And then my friend actually done some search into like some stuff like this now that she's older when she thinks back to it. And loads of people have actually witnessed this. This does actually happen. And it's really
Oh, it's like an
fucking weird,
interdimensional, like.
yeah.
Was it? It was in the garden. It wasn't like walking in the street, was it? It wasn't. Didn't she say it was in the garden?
Yeah, but what's weird, what I can picture it as, so the window obviously looks out into the garden, but there's like a little bit of garden and then there's a pathway that you would walk up.
Yeah.
And it walked on the path up to so it would be the main door of the house. So we were expecting someone to be at the front door, so we were like shit scared. So we then went out to the front door together, like, oh my god, is someone going to be there? We looked around and no one was there. And then like 5 minutes later, the mum and dad come back and we like literally randomly like, oh my god, guess what we just saw? And then her mum's quite spiritual, not spiritual, but like she
is. Isn't she?
she believes in stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was like, oh, that's weird.
That gets me so
Yeah,
much.
that is so weird.
Yeah.
So the other sightings that people saw, like what year was it?
Couldn't tell you.
Don't
No, that was what she did. I just
Fair.
I get scared of things and I just stay away.
That is super weird.
I just sleep.
That's
Believing
music
that other
mix
people
up.
saw it as well.
Yeah.
Super strange.
Yeah.
That.
I hate that so much.
I know, it's really creepy.
It's because it's like, have you heard of that thing called? It's called Uncanny Valley.
No.
Mm-mm.
Or it's basically when something looks like a human but not quite.
Oh.
Oh, right.
There's so much of it. If you type it in the internet, you just won't sleep. It's just like it's odd. Like it's when you go to like a wax museum and they're
Yeah.
like just off. You can't tell
Okay,
what's
yeah.
wrong with it. They're just not right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That to me is like it's almost a person, but it's not anymore.
Yeah.
It's like oh, that's freakier than like anything else.
That is really true. Yeah. It's well
yeah,
freaky.
that's weird.
Box head. Right. So I have a
Yeah, you
couple, but I think we're gonna like
We'll go round and round.
Yeah.
pass the parcel.
Who's gonna win?
So my first ever one was when I was about 6 or 7, and me and my brother sharing a room, and I was bottom bunk this time because I wasn't cool enough to get the top bunk yet.
Old enough to get beaten down. To the
Yeah,
bottom.
literally.
Yeah.
But the picture of my room, as you walk in my room, my the bed would be at the back wall, wardrobes to the left, and window to the right. And Shelby, shut the fuck up.
I'm like watching him. He's proper like sassy.
He's really
Yeah.
into the story.
But I used to sleep with my head towards a window, and this particular night I was rolled over. Shelby, shush. Right.
Right, as you were.
Yeah.
This particular night, I was leaning over to the right, and I woke up all of a sudden and turned over, and there was a man stood at the wardrobe. I can see it clear as day now. And it was like, it sounds so like fake, but it was really like spook. It was like if you draw someone on chalk really sharp and then just rub over it, like almost that kind of
Like
effect.
fuzzy.
And he had a walking stick of it. It was more like a cane. Walked by, stopped like by me, winked at me, and then carried on through the windows.
Nah.
But I remember specifically, it was like fine. The atmosphere was amazing. It was really nice. I
Like,
wasn't
you
scared
weren't
at all.
spooked from it, yeah.
Right.
And then it gets freaky because the next day, well, we used to have like an old oil heater, but my dad got rid of it like prior to this, and we still had the old like storage unit in our house. And my dad used to store old photos in there. And that day, he was going through all the old photos and sorting them out into different boxes and stuff.
Oh no.
And that's the first time I've seen that man. And it was my great granddad who died when my dad was 9 or 10, who served in World War One, and that's the weirdest thing ever. Like seeing someone you've never seen before the
Yeah.
very next day, but you're old enough to know what you're seeing. It's not like a juvenile brain, even though you're young enough, but you know exactly what's going
Yeah.
on.
What did your mum and dad do? Like when you said, "Oh, I saw that man last night."
Yeah.
I can't remember what they done, but I know my mum said she was freaked out by that.
Yeah.
But I think my dad was more like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
You're full of shit. But like,
Yeah.
I
But your mum has always been more of a believer, hasn't she?
Oh,
compared
she's
to.
so sweet.
Yeah.
but I could see it so clear. It was like he used to have like a little like a faint moustache and grey hair to the sides, and he wore glasses. And I can even like see his eye winking at me like right now. It's like it's so it's like so creepy.
It's,
And then
it's like embedded into your head.
and again, it
Yeah.
sounds like a film, but I can still see him just going straight through because we had these blue curtains hung up, and we had a street light outside, and the light like shone in, and you could like see him just carry on through. I remember that being awesome, and just going back to sleep again. Like nothing happened.
It's quite nice that it was like didn't feel horrible, that you could just like, oh, hello,
No,
and then go back to sleep. I mean, I would go to sleep because I'm scared, so I curl into a ball and hide my face. I'm like, no, it's fine, it's fine.
but that's the thing
Yeah.
because the energy it was given off was like amazing. It was like not
Yeah.
there's not a single bit of fright at all.
You must have really tried. Like, no, that sounds weird, but every time when you see something weird that it is like you can explain it. You know, like something moves, but it's just your eye vision. It still makes you feel weird.
Oh yeah.
So to see a full-on ghost and still feel like, it's fine.
Yeah,
He must have like really tried to get his energy right or something.
Must
Like,
have, yeah.
comfort you.
And why did he choose you?
I don't know. I guess I don't know. If,
Kids are open, aren't they? So
It must
you can,
be.
You can get to them a lot easier.
but like
True.
it's pretty cool. I think my uncle has his World War One medipack,
Oh wow!
so that'd be quite cool to see
That
one
would be
day.
really cool. I wonder if you'd get any like weird feelings from
I wonder
it.
if you then get it and then, like if he comes back and be like, oh, shabby, sure.
Maybe he's got stories to tell.
Yeah, maybe. The things I have seen.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, that's my favourite story. I love that
Yeah.
story so much.
I love that it's like is stuck with like same with your like story
Yeah.
about the like shut up. And the box man for me. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they would stick with you, wouldn't they? Those ones.
Mum.
They are strange. I have another one, another story. So before I'm trying to think what happened. So my mum and dad, before they moved into the house we're in now, where we've been for like 26 years, before that we lived in the oldest house in the town where I live, and they lived there with my brother and sister, and my brother started getting really tired. My mum wasn't sure what was going on, and she asked him about it, and he said, well, I can't sleep because the sailor keeps coming and waking me up every night.
Oh dear.
So she was like, okay. Oh, also, my brother was 4 years older than me, so he literally must have been 4, because I think my mum was pregnant with me or had just had me. So he's about 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And he says the sailor keeps keeping me up. So mum's like, my mum's a complete non-believer. She thinks that weird things happen, but there's always an explanation for them.
Yeah. Okay.
So she's like, okay, who's this sailor? Oh, sorry, I kicked the table. And my brother's like, well, there's this man that sits on the end of my bed every single night and tells me the stories from his life. And my mum's like, well, that doesn't sound very good. You shouldn't let strange men sit on the end of your bed.
Tell him to go away.
And then my brother says, don't worry, mummy, you don't need to be scared. He can't come in your room. It's too new. So my mum tells my dad about this, and my dad's like me, he has to research. So he goes to the library and he finds the plans for this house, because it's a famous house from where I'm from. And in the plans he finds out that the original house is where him and mum are, and the old part of the house is where the kids are. The new part of the house was their bedroom, and it had only been built like in the past 20 years, something like that. There's no way that my brother could have known that.
No.
Absolutely no way. So when they asked him about it, he said, well, the sailor told me. He said that he can only go to the old parts of the house, not the new part that's just been made.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And apparently my sister saw him as well, but I don't think he spoke to her. Like, he legit spoke to my brother every single night.
That's
But
so
my
weird,
sister
yeah.
only saw him and didn't actually speak to him. And the others never saw him. Yeah.
Did your brother describe what he looked like?
Like, just
A
a
sailor?
sailor.
Yeah, but is he?
Wearing, like, the typical navy sort of outfit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I guess old-fashioned for
Yeah.
what it was, because...
Typical
Yeah.
navy, basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Well, I'd kill to be able to like talk to someone like that. Now I wonder that you're old enough to ask it
Yeah.
proper questions.
The
Yeah.
thing is, there's no one in my family that's really a believer. So they just
Oh,
tell
annoying.
these as stories. They don't tell them, like, oh, I saw a ghost or another.
No.
They don't think that. They think there must be an explanation.
Even your brother?
Yeah, he's not a believer.
What?
How
I
annoying.
know, I know. It's mad, but I don't know how else you would explain it. Even if he wasn't seeing a sailor, how does he make up that stuff to just know that their building, their bedroom was just made earlier.
Yeah,
That's weird.
it's a new part of the house. It's not
Yeah.
part where he can be.
Always
can make
freaked
it
me out,
up.
that one.
It's like the kids who have like believe they have past lives and they get stuff down to the exact
I
detail.
love
Oh my
that
god.
stuff.
So yeah, on to the next story, which is my story. It kind of was with me and Tom, but I'll say it because I haven't had as many experiences as Tom has.
Giggity.
But yeah, we used to live in a really nice old house in St Agnes. I think that's in Cornwall, by the way.
A cottage.
It's a cottage.
Oh,
We
it's
tried
so
to see
nice.
when it was built, didn't we? Can you remember what it said?
It was a room for the parish, wasn't it? Early.
Yeah.
It was like Victorian style, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like red brick, Victorian style. It was so nice. I love that. That's like my favourite little place to live. But yeah, anyway, we were living there. We lived there for a year. But one night, Tom was sat on the sofa and I was dishing up dinner, but I had my headphones on, so I was listening to music because I think Tom was like playing an instrument of some sort with headphones in as well. So I was like, I'm going to listen to music while I get dinner ready or whatever. And then as I walked from the kitchen towards Tom by then had taken his headphones out and he was ready with his plate, whereas I was walking over with my plate to go and sit next to him, but I still had my headphones on. I went to walk over to him and there was like really loud, like boom, 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 footsteps from him and stopped in front of me. So Tom obviously didn't have his headphones in. He heard it and he was like, what the hell was that? I had my headphones on and I felt it, like the vibrations, like get heavier and heavier towards me and then suddenly stop right in front of me.
That was so unnerving.
It was so weird. Like I literally stopped in my tracks and I took my headphones off, looked at Tom. He was already looking up at me in shock, and I was like, "What the hell was that?" And it was as if someone really heavy-footed ran from Tom towards me. But it was really strange that it just then stopped right in front of me, like it didn't like continue or whatever.
Yeah, that was horrific.
It was so weird. It was like enough space for it to be like boom, 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 like.
Yeah, it was at least the length of this table for the people that were watching. It was like, yeah, I would have been sat like here, and you were coming over there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like boom, 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 and like I could
Yeah.
feel it getting away from me, hear it going away.
Yeah. It's so weird, but that was the only, I would say, main thing that was obvious that happened in that house.
Well, sorry to
That's
interrupt, but do you remember when I came to stay and the same thing happened to me when I was alone?
Yeah.
Did it? I didn't know
I
this.
felt the floor go and I heard someone running.
Mm-hmm.
It was like they were sort of where the stairs were,
Yeah.
like they were going up that way.
No
Yeah.
way.
And then I heard the door go, so I went to answer it, no one was there. And then the toilet flushed on its own, but I think that may have been a normal thing.
I
in
don't
your
think,
house.
no.
No, it never went.
No,
No,
okay,
no.
it flushed on its own as well,
What?
because I was
Yeah.
downstairs. Yeah, loads of weird stuff happened at your house when I was
Yeah.
there. And here, in your house that we're
Oh, yeah.
in now.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't tell me right now, because
Well, you've heard not banging on the door, haven't you?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like nothing's been there. It's really weird. Like,
Yeah, that was weird. That freaked me out when I was here alone.
I've had hair
Not
as well.
alone,
That
as with
door.
Shelby.
Yeah, I've had it as well.
Just like annoying ghosts, isn't it?
Yeah. Something wants to come through that door, but we're
It
not.
is that door, yeah.
Yeah. The door into the living room, but
Yeah.
yeah. That was spooky. And then the final story of
So the
this chatty
fun
episode.
story of the evening is...
Episode.
So this one's cool because it has 3 witnesses other than myself.
I was one of them.
So it's in my old family living room, and we had like one big sofa at the back and a 2-seater on one side, and then like I was sat on a singular one on the other side of the room. It's a weird layout.
Like a semicircle, wasn't it? It was laid out like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I literally didn't know what I was doing now. If I was eating or just chilling.
I think we're chilling because we were. Sorry, I'm just going to butt in a little bit.
Yeah, 'cause you're
we
there.
were joking about your gran, weren't we?
Yeah, on my
How
mum's
she-
side.
She always used to like play tricks on your mum
Yeah.
and her siblings when they're playing, like watching horror films. She'd like tap on the window and like, ding, 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 and they'd be
Yeah.
like, oh my god, it's
That's
yours.
awesome.
So yeah,
But-
we're joking about that, just not reminiscing.
Yeah, so we were just all sat there because it was me, my mum, Sammy, and my sister. And I was looking down at my phone or something, and I saw a bright, like, silver flash my arm, and I felt it, and I was like, wow, what was that? I looked up, and everyone was looking at me.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Everyone's actually seen that. And then, yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone watched this thing, like, a silver flash, like, strike my arm, and I had I think some old thing doesn't actually exist anymore, but I took a picture of it at the time, and yeah, I had a mark on my forearm, and
It was a red mark, wasn't it? Like
yeah, it was a
scratch.
proper scratch, and everyone saw it, and it was It was like it was so bright and silver. It was like
Yeah.
it couldn't be anything else.
Yeah, what I imagine it as was like a feather, like if you're holding a feather and just go,
Yeah,
because it was so light and like.
it had like a trail almost. It
yeah.
was like,
Wow.
but that's weird when 3 other people will see it at the same time.
It's how we all like looked up like what like
Yeah.
what was that? Like Tom like looked up. I remember him looking dead at me in the eyes, like, did you just see that? Because he obviously wanted someone to obviously feel better. You feel better if someone has seen it, so you don't feel so
Yeah,
crazy.
you feel crazy.
But
Yeah.
the fact that me and Katie were like looking at you like,
Oh, I didn't realise Katie was there as well.
Yeah.
I
sister,
didn't.
yeah.
And she
That
kept
was just your mum.
sort of, because after that later that night we had like our house, we had like a little lamp behind where that seat was, and then the TV and all of the lights were off, and she kept seeing like a little figure at the door, or like just kept appearing. It'd be like a peripheral, so she'd be watching TV, and it'd be like a figure, not just like a shadow. It was like a person there, but really small, like 2 foot tall, and then she'd look and it'd go like fucking.
I hate that. That's creepy. That's really creepy.
But yeah, that was because like you say, when you look up. Like something like so crazy like that happens, you want people to see it just for their sake, to be like, you've seen something like that happen.
And you're not crazy, like then people would actually believe you that happened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that was fucking awesome.
that was really cool.
Yeah, that was mad. I think you sent me like a voice message.
Yeah, probably.
Explaining it as
Like-
soon as it happened. You're like, oh my god, you're never gonna believe it.
Times are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's what literally I would have.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
But those like, I want people to get in contact with their like personal stories
Yeah.
instead of like a documentary about something, because I like the
Yeah.
raw story.
Yeah, oh definitely.
Even if it's just something really small that you can't explain. Like mine are small things, but you just can't fully explain what's
they're
what's
so,
going on.
They're so strange, aren't they? They're
Yeah.
Even like I've had it before where I've gone to a door and the handle's gone down before I got to it,
Like, ugh.
and stuff like that. It's like
Very
it's
creepy.
so tiny and insignificant, but it's like massive because
Still, yeah. How
you
does
didn't
it
do
happen?
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Nah.
Yeah, personal stories. That's what we need.
Yeah, send them over. Either DM us or comment below or wherever you comment.
Just rock up to
Yeah.
the house and just join into the podcast.
Yeah, just knock on the door.
Don't knock on the door. I'm going to get always scared.
Scared by myself. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was awesome. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We'll do
Thank
another one of
you.
those. But I hope you enjoyed. And we'll not see you. You will hear us next Monday.
But also,
Oh,
keep listening out and watching, because the sleep paralysis stories. I have none, but these two have some.
I have so many sleep
Yeah.
paralysis
It's
stories.
basically going to be a Tamsin episode. So
I
brace
could
yourselves.
fill just the whole afternoon. So yeah, that
Yeah.
was crazy.
I can't wait for them because I forgot. I remember some of them, but I forgot most of
Oh my
them, which
God,
I can't
it's
wait to hear them
good. I haven't
again.
even told people about some of them. They're crazy.
So yeah,
But yeah.
Tamsin's going to relive her traumatizing sleep
Yes.
time.
I cannot wait.
Sleep paralysis, which will be our next chatty episode, like this one,
Yeah.
in a couple of episodes' time. So we hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll be back with you with some chatty sleep paralysis
Some
stuff.
spooky stories.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.